Hi, fellow writers. I would like to talk to you today about writing stories based on myths and legends and dragons. Anything that was published before 1924 is free to use. It's called public domain, and myths and legends absolutely fall into that category. You can actually copy and paste them into a document and publish them as is if you want to. That's how old they are. Nobody will stop you. Nobody will make a single squawk. But you might find more success if you do things just a little bit differently. You can take the story structure and remake it. You can take Sleeping Beauty and write the story based on one of the dwarfs' perspective. Look through Doc's eyes, look through Grumpy's eyes, rename them. They don't have to be the Disney dwarfs. You can make them anything you want. You can change the setting. Cinderella has been done in every culture from China to somewhere in Europe and I don't know, possibly the United States too. I haven't seen that one, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You can change the dates. You can change the time frame. If you want to put Robin Hood in today's culture, if you can think of a way to do that, that's interesting. You can change the setting. Let's say we put Robin Hood in Mexico, and then he would look a whole lot like Zorro. So that's, you can change the story, but keep the basic points. You could do, I'll tell you that at the end because that's really good. Okay, let's see. If we take Robin Hood and we tell it from the point of view of Maid Marian or Little John or Friar Tuck, what would you get for a story? What if you set it in Africa? What if you changed the date? Would Robin Hood be able to do the same deeds of daring do today? You could do a spin-off. What about Friar Tuck's cooking show? What if King Arthur was President Arthur and he had a cabinet round table? Now, you can think of the same kind of changes using Bigfoot, or maybe Paul Bunyan, or what if Paul Bunyan met Bigfoot? That could be fun. Definitely think about combining mythical characters and beings in settings that you would not ordinarily find them. It's possible that you could have Zorro riding Pegasus or Hercules meeting a unicorn. Just, writing is for your own self first and then your reader. If you like it, then somebody else is going to like it too. So just have fun. Deal with it any way you wish. How about dragons? Dragons are extraordinarily versatile. You could make them the villain or the hero. They can be gigantic or they can be just little. You can have them breathe fire, not breathe fire. You can make a water dragon. You can make a flying dragon, and it just goes on. What kind of dragon would you like to have in your book? Okay, lists. Maybe lists aren't the best thing to put on a video, but I'm going to give you a few things that might give you a prompt. I'm sorry about the lighting, but the sun is coming in and out behind the clouds. Okay. Here's some possible ideas that will help you jumpstart. For people, think about these people. How about Merlin, or Pecos Bill, or Mike Fink, or Baba Yaga? Let's get the right person there. Beowulf, how about King Midas? What if you changed King Midas's place? What if he was in the United States? That could be fun. All right, places. Speaking of places, how about Atlantis? Or Mu or Lemura, El Dorado, Shangri-La, maybe Eden? Animals. How about Anansi the spider, centaurs, mermaids, harpies, rocks, Coyote the trickster, Native American folktale. Bad characters, you could do demons, serpents, the Hydra, the Kraken, Medusa, You can do vampires and witches or warlocks, although those two are kind of flexible as being hero or villain. How about shapeshifters? You can have werewolves, selkies. How about wear anything? You can. I've got books here on my table that have to do with tigers, leopards. Anyway, a white lady snake, reptilians that can look like people and then infiltrate the government. How about Zeus? I mean, he's really famous for turning into the white bull in Europe. Okay, a word about public domain. You can take the same ideas, the storylines and things that of anything been published before 1924. For instance, how many times has Pride and Prejudice been reworked? Right up to Pride and Prejudice and zombies. Okay, or I've seen Pride and Prejudice in outer space, or Amish Pride and Prejudice in outer space. The sky is the limit, and maybe the outer space thing really is the sky is the limit. Okay, Mark Twain's Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court has been done a number of different ways. I've seen a kid in King Arthur's Court based on the same kind of idea. All right, if you still are short of ideas, you might want to go, or if you need to double check some of your facts or refresh your memory on a certain story, then go to Gutenberg.org, and I'm going to show you this here on my screen. This one I put myths into the website, and you can click on any of these, and they will have a number of ways that you can download this so that you can read it. You can read it right online. You can read it in your Kindle. You can read it on your Android device. You can put in, I don't know if you know about the Green Fairy book. All right, fairy book. Okay, here they are. Violet fairy book, the orange fairy book, the Irish fairy book, the blue fairy book. Hans Christian Andersen, the fairy books of Andrew Long. Andrew Long is the one who did all the colored books, like the yellow fairy book and the green fairy book. So, if you need any of these, let's see, if I open the green fairy book and you want to read this right online, here it is, the Green Fairy book, and it has all the stories. These are all clickable links if you want to just read one book at a time or one story at a time. You can just click on this one, and there is the story. And you can figure out what the main points are, and then you can rework the story, or you can put it into a new anthology. I want to show you a few things that the library has. We have books based on Bible stories. We have both werewolves and vampires. We have dragon books. These are even nonfiction. Nonfiction about mermaids. Go ahead, think about that for a minute. Here's Baba Yaga. And here's African American folk tales. Any of those can be reworked into a story of your own choosing. Percy Jackson, these are things based on stories from different cultures. Here's Norse and Egyptian. I'm sure if I wanted to, I could find more. We have the dragon, sort of a dragon. This is a shapeshifter. This is a shapeshifter. This is a werewolf romance. Okay. Harry Potter, everybody knows how popular that got. If you can hit something big like that, you're doing really well. Another witch book. Okay. Tolkien. His was based on 2 or 3 different batches of mythology. Celtic, I believe, was the one that was his main source, and he made a fortune off of that. Okay. Just a regular anthology, a collection. You don't have to make them up yourself. You just do another collection of your own favorites and see what you get. Mercedes Lackey is famous for taking fairy tales and turning them into a whole book. What would the characters have done if you expand their story out? But I have to show you my very favorite retelling of a fairy tale. Right here. The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by A. Wolf. You have got to read this book. It is hilarious. So, now you see you can do serious, you can do fiction, you can do nonfiction. You can combine things. You can invent a new way. Anne McCaffrey did the Dragon Riders of Pern, and her dragons were completely restructured, you find out eventually. They were genetically tinkered with to be the kind of dragon they needed for that culture. So you can take your myths and legends to outer space. You can take them underwater. You can take them to the top of a mountain. It's just mind-bending how many ways you can use these stories. And I think that's a wonderful thing. I hope I've given you some good stuff to think about. I hope you get out your pen and paper and start scribbling notes. I hope your dragon survives 1,000,000 years. Thank you. Have a good day.